one you can never find because they're hard to find. And then the drum kit. Our drums are really good because we have multi-samples, so when you play them very soft. In fact, the way to hear this is just to solo this drum groove, so you can, wherever it's at. Hello. Long samples. If you didn't know it, we make drums too. Does everybody know kind of a little bit about Yamaha? Have you ever wondered? Yamaha. Because I get it all the time. I take out my business card or my credit card when I'm at the airport and they go, "Oh, Yamaha, you must have a great job." And I know what, the person's thinking. It's like, I do actually. Because, oh, I want one of those Wave Runners so bad. Or, my brother bought one of those R1s. That thing is fat. And, well, I work for the other party. I work for the music. He goes, "Oh, that's right. You guys also do that." And it's really the other way around. Yamaha started in 1887. A guy named Torakusu Yamaha, who was a watchmaker actually. And he made a pump organ in 1887. It's the first product we made was a musical instrument. And then in 1900 we made our first upright acoustic piano. In 1901 was our first grand piano. And from that, phonograph needles and guitars and all sorts of stuff up until 1954. When they made the YA1, which is a motorcycle. That's the first motor division product we made. I remember watching, I tell this a lot, I'll tell it again if you heard it. I saw a Movie Tone newsreel on the History Channel from like 1958 or something where they are talking about a rally in Australia. And they're back in the day when everybody talks like this. And it's really strange that they really did talk like that, it seems like. Well, gosh darn it. So they're talking about on the Harley Davidson, here comes Mike Patton on the Harley Davidson. Ooh, and he goes, "Nice finish for the American." That kind of stuff. And then they go, "And here's Fabrizio Carracci on the Ducati. Ooh, the Italian's really great." And then the next one, and here's Shigeru Yamasaki on the Yamaha. And it blows its engine right before it ends the finish line. And he goes, "Ooh, looks like they should stick to building pianos." I thought that was so we were even known then as a company. And then anyway, so on and on. And then 1960 is when Yamaha Corporation of America was established. And, and we've just been doing it ever since. So there's your little history lesson on it. So I will now move on to me, the most important sound on any of these instruments, especially in our market, is the piano. Most people are always like, "What's the piano sound like?" If you don't know about our pianos are absolutely world-class pianos. They are all over the place at many concert halls in the world. I think, especially when it comes to our S-Series piano, the CF3S, the S4, and the S6, I think they are about the finest pianos I've ever played. I just played a really great Steinway the other day, and I loved how it sounded and everything, but the action was another thing that I missed. The Yamaha action I just love, and the sound of the piano. So this is actually a recording of the big 9-foot of the CF3S. So I usually just play a scale and let people just listen to it decay. And the fact that there's not a lot of things that happen if you don't have a large enough wave run. This sample is actually an 8-element, so we have every element. And what an element is just a part of the sound. So one element will be a soft strike in the low end. One element will be a middle strike, soft, and then a high. And inside those elements, each of those keys are sampled, basically, and they're just kind of grouped together in a key bank. There's also another element for the fortissimo layer, the larger layer. There's usually some at the top and at the bottom as well to kind of even it out. But the thing that's cool about this guy, and I'll turn this one up so you can hear it, it's assigned to this knob here, but is this key also. Hear it? Because I really am trying to accentuate it. So it's totally unmusical right now. So when I bring it back and I play like a nice chord, And this is what I tell people when you're checking out digital pianos. I say always play chords in the center of the register instead of the highs and lows. Highs and lows are pretty easy to get. Everybody sounds real good on that. But to really get the idea of, I always play the most dissonant chord and listen to how it sounds in the middle register, or play some more lush. And play really soft. I do a lot of like. And try to just see if I can get some expression out of this guy. Nice balanced all the way through the keyboard, from playing soft to loud. Nothing really jumps out at you. It's really hard to do this. If you've ever tried to sample a piano, it's almost impossible for me. I can't do it. I've struggled, tried to sample my friends, really nice. Never works out. So the cool thing about this, now I've got down here, I want to show you something else, is I have a pedal here that's called the FC3. Okay, and FC3 is different than most of all these other pedals in here, for the most part, are switch pedals. They're on and they're off. But if you ever play a piano, there's half pedaling that you can do, and is sometimes required if you play any Rachmaninoff or if you play any romantic music, where it actually calls for half pedaling, where it doesn't actually sustain the entire thing, but it kind of plays for a legato phrase or something. And I use half pedaling on a real piano sometimes when I'm playing with a singer, a lot of times, where I want to move from chord to chord, but I don't want it to be, a wash of reverb. But here's how it works. I'll just go ahead and I'll slowly push this down, and you'll hear it start to grab it as it gets to a certain point. Hear it grabbing it? Full on. So that's like the big wash, which is, to me, is I have piano students and I take off these sustain pedals because I want them to learn how to use their fingers instead of always, people. It's like, I love that. So, but this is a cool thing. This is a real piano type of a thing. Very different than anybody else that I know of, pretty much. A lot of our digitals do this as well, half pedaling. So that's another cool thing. But the last thing is this key off. And this is always a cool thing when you're playing, like, at the end of a tune, Hear the dampers lift. That is literally, when I pull my foot off, those dampers are actually doing the other thing. They're falling. That little attention to detail is what makes all the difference in that kind of sound. So I can talk a long time about the piano, but I'm not going to keep doing this. But I was talking a little bit. There's a lot of different electronic piano sounds, not just the two that I play. There's this one that's more like a... soft. Then you have one that's a squashed compressor that this one I just love because it just, if I'm playing in a band and I need my Rhodes to cut, this guy isn't going to do it. This one, without actually changing the level, goes right through. And I love that I have the ability to be louder than a drummer, which is hard to do. And I still am not. So.